joining us once again. And today we are going to be sharing with you a project we have developed after we have explored the human resources side of education. And today we will be looking at legal and ethical issues, the induction and mentoring side of education. We will also look at the educational law, the code of ethics, and also how this affects our school, our community, our county, us as learners, and also primarily our students. Now, if we're looking at the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics, we realize that after surveying our teachers and interviewing our teachers here at our school, we realized that most teachers, us included, had very little knowledge of the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics. Some said that they could find it if they Googled it, but none could name an individual standard. This is a concern because the Code of Ethics is not to control us, it is here and built for us to be protected. Most are familiar with the content of Standard 4 and unethical behavior, even if they don't know it by name of Standard 4. Unfortunately, Alabama has been in the spotlight in violation of Standard 4 an embarrassing number of times, but there is a more hopeful side of Standard 4, that we are to be mentors and friends to one another, and we are to be advocates for one another, and we are to be mentors and advocates for our students while we are being professional with our students. So that is a lot of good news about Standard number 4. And this also takes us to ethical issues and legal issues. And they have specific definitions that separate the two. Ethical issues can be defined as ethics in education are based upon the human principles of good and bad operating within a healthy educational environment. Now, legal issues, this is the law regulated by written principles that govern standards, those standards that are stated in the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics. Now, they often coexist by the nature of the dilemma of the tricky, maybe ethical issue. But again, they are not one and the same, so don't feel bad if you have ever thought they were the same. Now this leads us to what is the greatest challenge that new teachers face? Well, we surveyed our new and beginning teachers, and the greatest challenge that some of you have faced stems from the fact that only one of our new teachers had ever been officially assigned a mentor. And even at that, there was no real time to meet. Mentors and mentees must have a clearly carved out time to meet and plan. Mentees should have a lighter schedule. They should not be overburdened these first years. And if teacher retention and student achievement is expected to rise, then they have to have less of a burdened schedule these first years. Based upon our survey answers, the number one thing that new teachers needed was advice and time to hear that advice. So here you will see their actual words. Feeling that I was on an island and having to figure many things out on my own. Settling into a new classroom and figuring out how they want me to do things. Feeling discouraged and defeated. Knowing expectations, procedures, and having someone to ask questions or advice of. Each statement, you will see here, equals no one and no time for advice. Now this will move us into the new teacher induction phase, because there may be many great programs that we have, but many new teachers are unaware of these programs and who and when our students can qualify for them.
So of these programs I'd like to cover, we'll be looking at each one briefly. We have gifted education, special education, that has preschool services included, which is wonderful. We have response to intervention, our RTI. We have English language learners served through our ESL program, career technology education, technology in the classroom, and then pre-kindergarten programs.
Additionally, we have other special programs. We have a special education program. We have a gifted education program. And then additionally, a preschool special education program.
The RTI is a multi-tiered educational service that, with the hopes of increasing our student achievement as well as decreasing behavior problems. We use research-based instruction in this area. We also use research-based assessments and interventions, and we really hope that this helps those struggling students. Our English language learners are served through the ESL program. It is implemented through WIAD Access Assessment, and it helps to identify and assess those bilingual students, which we have 19 schools with bilingual students and 23 different languages represented.
You can click this one. Okay, in our other special programs, we have the Career and Technology Center, Technology in the Classroom, and our pre-K or pre-kindergarten programs. Now, within the Career and Tech Center, we have 10 technical education programs, and they are available for students from the 9th through 12th grade. And some of those programs are automotive technology, collision repair technology, engineering, design technology, and early childhood education. And next, we have a goal of technology in the classroom to provide training for us and technology equipment assistance for students, for teachers, for the administration. And that is for us to continue as students, because we have to keep up with our students who are digital natives. And then the first class pre-K programs. And the first class pre-K programs, they exist within our Title I elementary schools.
So before we can start recruiting mentors, we've already said how much they're needed, but before we recruit mentors, they need to understand what is a mentor and what benefits can it give to a new teacher or to our school and our students. So one definition that I have from my research is an experienced teacher guiding, coaching, and supporting a novice teacher so they can progress and become more competent and confident. Another one, a mentor teacher is an experienced professional who guides the personal development of a less experienced individual as a role model so that they can be a wise, faithful advisor and a tutor. And our survey results showed that new teachers need this. They really, really do. What are the benefits of a mentoring program? If an effective mentoring program is in place, we can see that, well, it reduces teacher retention. It reduces recruitment and retention cost. And we will see increases in our student achievement. So just an overview of what are the guidelines for someone coming into the mentoring program. As a mentor, what will they need to do? Number one, you will be a mentor teacher for one full school year. You will be mentoring on a one-to-one basis. You will be chosen by a committee, and you will have to successfully complete training to become a mentor. You will get a $1,000 stipend for that year of service. It is recommended that you would meet with a mentee and that new teacher is going to receive about 2.5 hours a week of meeting time, which is what is so challenging. That is our struggle. Last, the mentored teacher will complete scheduled assessments so that we can see how is this program being a benefit. Is it working successfully? Now, in order to become a mentor, there are certain qualifications. What we've seen is that the minimum years of experience is going to range between 3 to 5 years, and that they must have subject area expertise. And that effectiveness in the classroom is required, would need to be proven by achievement scores by the students on standardized testing, maybe some student portfolios that would prove student growth, as well as observations. A mentor teacher also needs to continue modeling professional development by attending their professional growth by attending professional development, because we need to remain students ourselves. We need to continue learning so that we're better prepared for our classroom students. Also, a mentor teacher needs to communicate very well and collaborate very well in order to be a successful mentor. So, last part of the mentor program we'd like to share today is that there needs to be training. So if it is a mentor teacher's first year, they would need to complete that initial training that I mentioned earlier. But there would also need to be continued follow-up training. Our State Department of Education recommends that. Also, mentor teachers need to continue to look at the Alabama Quality Teaching Standards and know how to utilize those themselves and teach those strategies and how to use them in the new teacher's classroom. Last, they need to be provided with ongoing support by their individual schools. So we hope that this has been a benefit. We think induction and mentoring is so important. Thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. Thanks.